I have learned so much as a result of this family. I remember when he went to Texas and brought the beautiful Freddie back and watched as they, the children, he educated them in the ways of the Lord. And so beautiful to see. And so for this day, the culmination of this day, it's very meaningful for me to see. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I don't want to take a lot away from Matt. But I was privileged to have the initial, one of the initial first editions of the Antediluvian Gene. And as Sister Collins said, I didn't have time to read it like I wanted to. But then when I realized that it was time for the discussion, I got busy. And you'll see my copy is yellowed up all throughout. Before I go there, though, I do want to say that to applaud Sister Freddie and the work that she and Abby both have done with the essential oils and bringing to us that information. Forgotten, not hidden for those who study God's Word and know it. The same as with the information that Matt. If you know God's Word, it was just so revealing. And I appreciate and applaud you, and especially the efforts in autism, that we can use the things that God's given us. Truly, the Scriptures have said, He has given us all things that pertain to life and godliness. I didn't turn this on, Matt. That's going back in my mind. And there was a conversation, and I was there when Brother Collins said, Matt's a brilliant person. And I thought, well, that's just a proud father. And I thought, that's nice. But however, after I read this book, this book is quite a testimony to the intellect and the spiritual insight that he has. And I am just so thankful to really have read this. This book really, I think in some, is a roadmap. It affirms God's love for man. John 3:16, he so loved. And it just unfolds and tell you just what he has done, as Sister Collins has said in her presentation. So much was laid out even before the foundation of the world. And it was all in the mind of God because he so loved us. And he was not going to allow anything to thwart his plan. So even from the first generations, as Matt talks about in his book, The Antediluvian and that selfish gene, all of that had a purpose. All of it had a purpose. And, the Scriptures also tell us that God, he could raise up stones to be his children to accomplish what he needed to do. And I see that Antediluvian man in that vein. So much I could say, and I'm not going to take a lot away from his thunder, but it was just so intriguing as God used the Jewish nation to help us to understand ourselves. One of the things he says that he has given us, he said, all things that pertain to life and godliness. He wants us to understand. Says, and that we in all our getting, wisdom and knowledge is the principal thing, but in all of our getting, we should get an understanding. And sometimes he knew in his omniscience that there were things that we needed to understand about ourselves before we could move forward. And he gave us that. Now, as Matt's book talks about the psychoanalytic model that Freud uses, all of that, God gave that to us because he knew we needed that. And I think this book is very purposeful and very direct in helping us to know that truly God, that is the origin of that model. And again, I'm not going to say a whole lot more. I'm going to leave that to Matt. But replete and complete. God has given us all things that pertain to life and godliness to get us from this side to glory. That's the hope that he had for us and has for us. And nothing needs to be hidden from us if we study his word. And thank you, Matt, for just unfolding it so simply. You know, Sister Collins, it really is an easy read. You just have to take time to read it. And it's a great book. So thank you.